Go. And hello, everyone say a nice big hello.
Nice big
And
hello.
hello, everyone.
Oh,
Oh, I can hear myself, and that is definitely
Nice big
coming from
hello.
my own speakers. There we go. So, welcome, everyone. Welcome to Revenge Mafia, the social deduction improvised long-form show where one of the people you see on this screen is going to turn out and transpire to be a hitman who, unless stopped, will no doubt take out and kill every other living person in the town tonight. So in a moment we are going to meet each of these individuals, and audience, I want you to pay close attention to all of them. Watch their eye movements, listen to the tone of their voice, look out for any body language, and pay attention because one of them is going to be a hitman. If you watch these cues, these clues, and everything going on about their person, you may be able to help us figure out who is the hitman. Now, if you look down where the writing is on the wall at the bottom of the screen, you will see currently it says support the show. Subscribe at www.youtube.com/extremeimprov. But I'm going to take that off the screen there now, and if you could smash that subscribe button, that'd be great. And it will now say, audience, ask the suspects questions, because this is a very interactive show, and throughout the show you will be able to ask questions to any of the characters and you will be able to hear their answers, because you too can help us figure out who is the hitman. You will have opportunities to vote, and we may even execute a few of them for good measure. So without further ado, let's meet everyone that we've got here, starting with the Librarian. Say hello to the people.
That is the Librarian, Peter Avalon. I think you will find.
Oh, but of course, we also have Bob the janitor. Bob, will you say hello to the people?
Hello, I'm very resourceful.
Indeed you are. Okay, we have Tommy 8 Fingers. Say hello to the people.
Hello, people. Tommy 8 Fingers. Used to be 10 fingers, then someone reminded me these were thumbs, so 8 fingers.
Okay, we are also joined by Joey No Feet.
G'day, Joey No Feet Tulipano. I run a very lucrative business as the florist in town.
I bet you do. So, okay, let's have a quick look. Who else do we have? We have Dr. Colin. Say hello, Dr. Colin Oscopy.
Hello there, I am Dr. Colin O'Scopy, and I like to get to the bottom of all medical illnesses.
Okie dokie. We're also joined by Christabel. Say hello to the people.
Hello humans. I'm Christabel de Tosh. I am a guru d'ingrédients, and I have a shop of food.
Fantastic. I believe we've met everyone except now for Captain. Captain, say hello.
Hey everybody there, I'm Captain Paulie Burnham. I am the captain of the local Start Fire Department. I don't put out fires, I start them, if you know what I mean.
Well, I think that's quite explicit to what you mean. So, here we go. In a moment, audience, we are going to assign one of the people you see here to be a hitman. Audience, I will just actually ask you, just to make sure that our live chat is working, just feel free to type hello into the comments here now, just because there was a glitch a little bit earlier. So that would be great if you could help us test this. But there are a couple of things I need to make you aware of. So first of all, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that there are 2 Tommy guns. They may come into play. You will also see that there is a big pile of cash. Now let me quickly explain this, because as a pseudo-semi-sequel to Revenge of the Werewolf, there are a couple of things which will be great to let you audience know. Each of our townspeople tonight has $10,000 in cash. Now, this $10,000 in cash may not be the largest amount in the world, but it perhaps will help them. They could use it as protection money should a hitman try to take out a hit on them. But it may also make them vulnerable, so people may try to steal money, or who knows, even kill them to get hold of the cash. They'll be able to use this at various points, and as much as possible, I will do my best to clue you in to what's happening in terms of the rules of the game. But with that, I think it is now getting quite late. So everyone, I will say to you to go lock yourselves into your homes, shut the windows. Just be careful, because there have been rumours of some unrest within the city, and for all we know, we don't want there to be any crimes committed. Bob the janitor, if you could just take out your camera view. I, audience, am now going to roll this dice, and this will decide which one of them is going to be the hitman. And okay, I'm going to let the hitman know that they are the hitman. You are the hitman. So if the person who is the hitman could private message just back to me, I've got the screen name of the good father, just to acknowledge that you are aware that you are the hitman. If the hitman could also let me know who they would like to take as their first victim, that would be great. Now, for the rest of the city folk, during this night phase, you have two options. You could choose, well, three. You could choose to do nothing and hope that you wake up alive and well in the morning. You also have the option to protect yourself, and you can use from $1,000 to $10,000 to put a level of protection on yourself. If you use $1,000, you will protect yourself a little bit if the hitman tries to kill you. If you protect yourself with $10,000, you will be fully protected, and everything in between. You also have the option to steal money from one of the other city folk. Now remember, during the night, you can only take one action. This is a huge part of the Revenge of the Mafia strategy, and with this, I can see that, let me just check. Okay. One second. I have let the person know who the hitman is, and they have let me know who they would like to kill. So with this, let's take a quick look. Everybody come on back. We've had quite an active evening. So let me just check here. So interesting. Yes, that person did know that they are the hitman. They did try at first to take a different action, which was a little confusing. Feel free just to chat amongst yourselves, greet each other, guys. See how you're feeling in the morning, and I may have some breaking news for you in a second.
Christabel, I hear that you're a guru, and you have a shop of food. Do you have any specificity around that, or is it just generally food?
It is. Thank you for asking, because it's health food. It's an organic shop.
Oh, lovely, organic, lovely. And are your lemons free range?
Oh my God! Everything with me is quite free of range. I don't range. It's free.
So your food is free.
Make of this what you understand, although some people find it a bit hard to understand because I'm so deep.
Hey, Tommy. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Polly, how are you?
Long time, Tommy.
Has been a while.
Okay, I've got some bad news, guys. I have done my rounds around the city, and I've got some unfortunate news to share with you. Just having a quick look here, I can see, in fact, that... where are you? Joey No Feet, unfortunately, you were killed during the night. Joey No Feet, you are dead. I'm very sorry to reveal this, that Joey No Feet, you were in fact killed. I'm very sorry to break this news to you. Someone may have tried to protect themselves, but with a roll of the dice, it was unsuccessful. So Joey No Feet, you are dead, but fortunately, I have psychic abilities, and
Me too.
Well, fantastic, but yours may not work quite the same as mine. So, fortunately, using, our combined psychic abilities, we can still hear from Joey No Feet during this day. And Joey, did you get a sense of who may have been after you? Did you get a sight of your attacker?
Oh, I don't believe that I saw who my attacker was, but it appears that I'm now 6 feet under, so I guess all my flowers are going to wilt.
Now they
Okay.
can call him Joey 6 Feet.
Yeah.
Okay,
I guess
fantastic. So, audience, we have a hitman amongst us. One of the people you see on the screen has actually successfully killed Joey No Feet during the night. Unless we can work out who it is and put this murderer to death, unfortunately, I suspect that they will attempt to kill again. So we're now going to go around and everyone will have one question that they can ask one other person. But unfortunately, because we have let this happen, this is like an absolute debacle. We're going to have a little bit of humiliation throughout the rest of the day. So with a roll of the dice, I can see that Dr. Colin, you are going to be humiliated that this should happen under your watch. What kind of doctor will allow a murder to happen? You're meant to save lives, damn it. But Dr. Colin, throughout the remainder of this day, whenever you communicate, you will have to communicate in single-syllable words. If you attempt to say anything that isn't a single-syllable word, you will be humiliated with silence for the remainder of the day. So, with this, Dr. Colin, who do you have a question for?
Bob the Clean.
You called me so, yes.
Bob the Clean, what did you get up to last night? Steal? Save?
No, so we're just poor people trying to protect ourselves. I am on medication, you see. You see the medication which you gave me for my colon. And I've been feeling better now, but I still feel that I am an innocent person and I was just having my medicine and I dozed off because you gave me those night
Thank
medicines.
you. Yes, lots of drugs for bad bums.
Okay, interesting. Now, from Beyond the Grave, Joey, do you have a question? Can you help us work out who killed you?
Oh. Librarian. I've seen you snooping around my flower shop a bit lately. Care to explain?
I do not snoop. Was merely looking at the flowers you had on offer because there are numerous books in the library about planting, soil, flowers, that kind of thing. It was merely research put into practice.
I see.
Okay, Tommy Eight Fingers, who would you like to ask a question to?
I'd like to give me a question for Christabel. Christabel, you were talking about your food being free, so we can just come by and pick up food? I mean, you're not earning any money by selling your food?
No, I didn't mean that you don't need to pay. Of course you need to pay. But I see my goal as Guru the Soul, meaning that I am an architect of your soul and I help you, and that, my friend, is free. You go into my shop as a client, you come out as a friend, but you do pay for the food. It's the healing that you get for free.
Okay. Christabel, do you have a question for someone?
Yes, I do. For the Librarian. I was wondering, why did you have to suddenly pick up a book about flowers from the flower shop? Suddenly, out of the blue.
I'm a man of many talents, often living here physically in the library. I go through all of these books. I just so happen to be reading the flower section in this library and wanted to put it into action.
So happened. That seems random, but that's fine.
He has 2 lips.
Interesting observation. Well done, Doctor.
The doctor would notice that.
Yes, absolutely. Now, of course, let's go to the Librarian. Who would you like to ask a question to?
The man known as Thomas Eight Digits. You
Yes.
seem to be
That's my father.
You seem to be the most capable of murder. You look, at the risk of judging, you look the type. Did you, in fact, commit this atrocity?
No, I think you misunderstand. I'm a charitable man. I do charity work. For instance, I help people. You know, if say Christabel, you've got a great business. It would be a shame if anything were to happen to that business. So I run an insurance place that I would make sure things went well for your business. I'm not in the murder game. I'm in the keeping people alive game.
Okay, audience, I will remind you that you can ask any of the city folk here that you're seeing any questions you want, and periodically we'll come and ask some. So let's have a quick look now. Some of these aren't questions, they're just statements. Keely Purnell on Facebook says, I think it's 8 fingers. Do you have a response to that?
Yeah, 8 fingers. I explained that. I used to be Tommy 10 fingers, but 2 of them are thumbs, so I went to 8 fingers. So she is correct when she says she thinks it's 8 fingers. So,
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, fair
That's what
response.
she's saying.
James Parker says, you are the hitman. If one of the characters isn't named Brett, I will be sad. Oh, we didn't think of that. Another week there will be Brett the hitman. But let's have a look. Vanessa says, hey. But then we've got Eloise says, Tommy, why do you look so smug?
I just the look the Lord gave me, and that's all I'm going with here. And I'm smug because I know that I'm keeping people safe. I can sleep at night. Can you? And if you can't, call me. I'll make sure you can sleep at night.
Okay. Christabel, did you already ask someone a question?
Yeah, I've asked the librarian, but
Oh, you
I
did.
yeah.
Sorry. Bob the janitor, who's your question for?
My question is for Captain.
Ooh.
Captain, although you are a firefighter, I see that in your background you have a picture of Godfather. Do you know who the Mafia is?
Do I know who the Mafia is? lady, I've been working for the Mafia for like 25 years.
Interesting response. And Captain, do you have a question for someone?
Yeah, I want to ask my old friend Tommy over there a question.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bob.
I know where your fingers are buried.
I know where Dr. Collins' fingers have been buried too. Doesn't make any difference at all.
Okay, fantastic. So with this, everyone has asked everyone else a question. Audience, let's see if we've got any more questions from you. Bob, Michael asks, do you know your way... Bob, do you know your way around people's vents?
I do. Yes, I do. I've been cleaning them.
It gets more of a euphemism. This is great. Peter, what's your favourite book?
There are many. How can one pick a favourite book? But if I had to pick one, it would be
Jungle Book.
Do not suggest that Rudyard Kipling is even a fixture of this library, because I can assure you the Jungle Book is not here.
Okay.
It's just going to hell.
So I guess it's the very hungry caterpillar as we expected. I
Yes.
thought so, yes. Okay,
Classic.
Colin, James asks, does that stethoscope work?
Yes, it does. I can hear bum sounds.
I bet you can. So, with this...
Impersonation?
Right, so... City folk, I don't know if we've actually done any work to actually pin down who is the hitman here, but we need to figure it out. Otherwise, I feel that one more of us may be killed. So you will now have 2 minutes of open discussion. Use this time to figure out who you think is the hitman. Audience, feel free to ask any more questions or give any thoughts. We'll read it out periodically. And 2 minutes, I said. 2 minutes, and here you go.
Tommy.
You talk about what everyone was doing last night. Where were you last night, Doctor?
Okay.
Last night I stole.
What did you see?
Who did you
I
steal
need
from?
cash. I need cash. I want to live.
Oh,
Christopher, you wanted to ask me a question.
yeah, because maybe I was imagining, but there was a hint of threat when you told me that you're going to keep my shop safe, and I felt it a bit like you were offering protection, and that scares me.
Not protection, insurance. I run an insurance firm. We are Fingers Insurance.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is
Yeah,
reassuring.
really, it's not protection. I can't make things happen. But if something bad happens, wouldn't you like
And like
to at
what?
least recoup some of your loss?
This does not. You're not painting a good picture for yourself, Thomas.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm not the guy who was reading up on flowers the same night that the florist dies. That's a little concerning to me. A man admits that I'm reading up on flowers. I'm in the florist section of my store, and yet our florist ends up dying.
If you have a rose, watch for pricks.
Yep.
In his defense, he didn't deny me saying he was around there, so I don't know.
Why would I place myself at the scene of the crime? I've read enough Hardy Boys books to know you do not do that.
What
Unless
did
it's
you
a double
do
bluff.
last night?
So wait a minute. The librarian admits that he reads a bunch of stuff to know what not to do.
I am well versed. I'm well versed, and for your information, last night I also stole.
Yes, can I just say something, Dr. Cullen? When you said, and you both of you said that you stole, I took it for the past tense of stool. That you normally check what with your...
I don't bring work home with me.
Oh, that's very good.
Thanks.
Yeah, I trust Dr. Colin. I'm just saying.
Harley, what were you doing last night? Were you setting
Okay,
fire?
I'm afraid that is the end of this period of open discussion. We will have one final interaction before we put it to a vote. This will be our last chance to work out who is the hitman. Use this wisely with a roll of the dice. I can see that it is going to be between Bob the janitor, and it is going to be between Christabel. Bob the janitor and Christabel. You will have a 1 minute interaction. Use this time wisely. This may be the last chance we have to save a life. And here you go.
Hello, madame.
Hello there. Bob, what did you do last night?
Ma'am, I am a very poor man. Sometimes I drink. Sometimes I do drugs given by Dr. Colin. But I tried to steal, but
You tried to steal. Steal yesterday.
but I don't know any math. I am not educated like you, ma'am. Can you tell me if there is any fortune for me?
I cannot tell the fortune.
Can you look and-
I can give you hope, and I can tell you that if you want something, you may achieve it. Now, can I just
Ma'am, can you
give
tell
me
me
one...
how much money can I take from you, ma'am? Can you give me some money?
Well, if you will prove to me that the money is going to go for a good cause...
And
then
that is
we
the end of this period of open discussion. Everyone come back. Audience, it is now voting time. Please, vote now and save us. Who do you think is the hitman? Someone killed Joey No Feet, and now he is 6 feet under. Who do you think is the hitman? Is it Christabel? Is it Bob the janitor? Could it be Dr. Colin? Tommy Eight Fingers? It can't be Joey No Feet because he's dead. Could it be the captain, or could it be the librarian? One of them is a killer. So if we can stop them now, audience, you can help us by voting. Each of our city folk are going to vote in a second, and whoever the audience vote for overwhelmingly will be added to the tally. So with this, let's go round. Christabel, who do you think is the hitman?
Listen, I am so sorry, but I go after my hunch, and my heart says it's the librarian. I don't see how he wouldn't be the killer.
Okay, Bob the janitor, who do you suspect to be the hitman?
I think it's Dr. Collins.
Okay, you think it is Dr. Colin. Tommy Eight Fingers, who do you think is the hitman?
I'm going to go with the librarian as well. I think the fact that he was reading up on the subject right before the killing, a little fishy to me, that's all.
Okay, Dr. Colin, who do you suspect?
I say Bob. Not cause of me, but cause Bob said he tried to steal, but failed.
Okay, Joey No Feet, you are dead, so you cannot vote unless we have a tie-break situation. Captain, who do you vote against?
I think it's pretty clearly the doctor, because he used the word kill before, and the way he said it, it was just like he really knows it, personally.
Okay, interesting stuff. Librarian. Oh, I do apologise. Who do you vote for?
Thomas, 8 fingers.
Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. So that is a vote against Tommy 8 Fingers. We will now go across to the audience and see what they have said. We've got a vote for Bob, for Tommy. Help me count these guys, by the way. There might not be that many, but help me just in case there are. Oh, hang on. Votes are still coming through. We've got a vote for Bob, for Tommy, for Bob, for Christabel, for Bob. It's the butler. Who's the butler?
Sounds like Dr. Cullen to me.
Okay. Tommy. We've got a vote for Bob. One for Christabel. We've got one for Bob or the food lady. You need to pick one, Vanessa. You've got to just pick one. We've got Christabel and we've got Bob. I think that is the most there for Bob. I really think so. Another one's just come through for Bob, so that is most votes against Bob. So we are in an interesting situation. The dead will get the chance to vote here. There are 2 votes against the captain. There are 2 votes against Bob the janitor, and there are 2 votes against Peter Avalon the librarian. So, Joey No Feet from Beyond the Grave, please communicate to us. Out of those 3 suspects, who do you think is the hitman?
Alright, so I think Dr. Colin had a good point when he was talking about the wording that Bob the janitor used. I think it could be Bob.
Okay, so Bob the janitor, you have been marked for death. I would now, just before you dive into this, just as we have people that are new to the city here, and this is the Revenge of the Mafia, which has some slightly adapted rules. In a moment, I will ask one of you to volunteer to execute Bob the janitor. For taking on this burden, you will get the opportunity to earn yourself extra protection money. The way this works is I will roll a dice, and if you call out odds or evens correctly, whatever number it lands on will be how many extra $1,000 you get. So for example, if you said it was a number, if you call out odds and it lands correctly on a number 5, you would get $5,000. If you call out odds and it landed on 1, you would get $1,000. If it landed on a 2 and you'd called odds, you'd get nothing. So there's a risk to this, but there is also reward. So, who would like the opportunity to earn some extra cash? Peter Avalon, the librarian, you have volunteered. So could everyone else please switch off your camera view? There will be a private execution scene here. Peter Avalon, first things first, you will get an opportunity to get some extra money. Please call out odds or evens.
Odds.
And it is evens. It is the number 8. You get nothing, sir. So, there will now be a 30-second timer on the clock. Bob the janitor, during this time, you can try to convince Peter Avalon not to execute you, and who knows, he may take mercy on you. However, you could also call out to protect yourself. If you wish to protect yourself, I will then ask you how much of your protection money you wish to put into protecting your life. You also have the opportunity to call out to grab one of the 2 Tommy guns, in which you would have a 1 in 8 chance of turning the gun back on Peter and killing him. With this, 30 seconds on the clock. Let the execution begin.
Hi, Peter. You remember I used to clean the libraries when you were not there. I told people I'm not good at maths. I am illiterate. That's why I couldn't steal. I got no money. I'm poor. I'm drinking this shitty drink. Why don't you get it?
The cleaning you did here, you messed up the Dewey Decimal System. You know.
And unfortunately, that is 30 seconds is up. Librarian, please carry out the execution.
May I just read a passage from William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Mean Girls? "'Tis true the lass is socially inept and strange beyond all natural degree.
And with this,
that's
that's quite enough before it takes us all out. Everyone come on back. Everyone come on back. Digital de Quinley just said, the dead voting in an election. Now, that's very witty, but let's not go there. Let's not go there. No. It is witty, though. But with this, Bob the janitor, you are dead. But from beyond the grave, using my psychic ability, could you now please confirm, were you the hitman?
Da, 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 da. Yes, I was the hitman.
There you go. So, within the first day, you have caught the hitman, Bob the janitor. You were the hitman. You didn't try to protect yourself, which was interesting as a tactic. So there we go, guys. Joey No Feet, you are avenged. But whilst we can all go back knowing that the crime has been cleaned up in this town for at least a generation, we are going to now... Who's just left? The show isn't over, guys. Don't go anywhere. Right, so we are going to now skip forward 100 years. We're going to skip forward 100 years. Bob the janitor, you are once again alive. Joey No Feet, you are once again alive. Because our hitman didn't defend themselves when I can truthfully now reveal, they did still have the opportunity to defend themselves. This situation will continue onwards. Now, obviously, as this is the next generation of the city folk here, the money that they had will carry on because it will be passed down through inheritance. So the money stakes, wherever they were at previously, is what you have left to your children. However, Joey, you are now alive again. Bob the janitor, you are alive. And in a moment, audience, we are going to have a brand new hitman. Let's just take a quick look at the comments section. It's always the creepy puppet. Well, it wasn't on this occasion. It wasn't on this occasion. Can I just check? Is someone missing off the screen? Who have we lost?
Christabel is missing.
Christabel. Has she actually left?
I think she felt betrayed. Like, she's livid.
Oh.
I think she's taken it personally. No,
wait,
really,
yeah, she's actually gone. I'm just going to message her in case she thought that was the end of the show.
I think there's been some feedback on her microphone, so I wonder whether she's having internet issues.
Okay, let me just check if... 1 second, this is funny. Right, so I'll see if I can get her back. The show isn't over. The show... This was Sarit's first time on the show. Isn't over.
I also love that Isha's little message is like, please come back.
Come back. That's interesting. Audience, this is a live show. Sometimes we have new players, and maybe it was just a coincidence of timing, but that is not the end. That is not the end. If we're just going to pause for a moment, because if she does come back, but she doesn't come back before we assign the hitman, then we'll know she's not the hitman. So, audience, what did you think? Did you correct... Well, the audience did mostly vote for Bob there, so they correctly figured that out.
I feel bad because I called Isha out on the... Wait, do we stay in character or do we not stay in character?
It's up to you for a minute. So, audience, see, this is a 2-minute... Let me just check where our missing performer is.
Like, interviews in the green room.
That was a real good catch on the slip of the tongue. That's why I voted for her. I was like, you know what? He's got a point. She said she failed at stealing. And because David said earlier that they tried to do something first and then they killed, like that just tied it together. So I was like, ooh.
It's happened to me in a previous show on Werewolf where I picked it up but I let it go on for a bit.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just want to see Isha's downfall quicker.
Okay, guys, we're going to continue on. We're going to continue on. I haven't heard back from her yet. Maybe it's just that her internet dropped off at like just the wrong time. But we'll see if we can figure this out.
Because we're all talking about her.
Yeah, I know. What an exit. Yeah, like the thing is, guys, I did speak about doing a version of the show where like there's more people on it, but when you get killed, you're literally just like you're kicked out of the Zoom meeting, and it's permadeath.
Ooh,
And it would be like harsh.
Permadeath.
It would be harsh
that's
to
brutal.
yeah, it would be harsh to the performer, but it would actually up the stakes because that way, if you actually get killed,
That is good.
then you're
'cause
done
you
on the
can't
show.
influence the game.
But we might do that as a one-off. We might try that as a one-off. This
No,
almost was
I'm
it.
for that.
Yeah, okay. So, we are a new generation of people. Should the great-great-granddaughter of Christabel re-emerge, she may help us on our quest, but probably not be the hitman. But with this, everyone, go lock yourselves up in your homes. Try to protect yourself. And with this, I will once again roll the dice. There is going to be a brand new hitman here. And with a roll of the dice, I'm going to contact the person now whom it is. So let's just contact this person. And I will let them know you are the hitman. If the person who is the hitman can just confirm to me that they have understood that they are the hitman. And then anyone else, if you would like to protect yourself, then you must write protect me with the number of protection you would like. I can reveal that in the last show, Joey did actually steal some money, but if you steal money, you are still vulnerable. If you wish to protect yourself, you must protect yourself. So, let's have a look. We've got some things going on. Okay, very interesting stuff. And we now have an interesting situation emerging. Okay, excellent stuff. Everyone come on back. Everyone come on back. Everyone come on back. So let's have a look. Okay. Good. So, with this, I have some news to share. I do have some unfortunate news, and that is that Peter, you're still a librarian. That's always unfortunate because you're going to read some more nonsense to us, no doubt. The unfortunate news is just like 100 years ago, Joey, when your grandson was killed, there's been another murder, but fortunately this time you're right. Captain,
That's good.
you're dead. The captain is dead. The captain has been killed, and you are no longer alive. From beyond the grave, would you like to... Okay. Would you like to say any thoughts that you have about this ongoing, developing situation?
I think this was a bad decision. I'm a good guy to have around. I'm a good fella. You know, I help. I set fires. And I'm a little offended by all of you because I've worked for all of you. I've set fires for every one of you. Every one of you.
Okay, 1 second, guys. 1 second. Whoa, hang on, wait for it. The train is just arriving in the station. And I have a feeling that someone is coming here to help with the investigation. So we're gonna learn what's happened here because this. Sarit, are you here? Okay.
And I have a feeling
Oh, and you may have the show on in the background as well. Hello. Oh, Sarit, do you have the show on in the background? We can hear an echo.
I'm in it, yeah.
Okay. And I have a feeling. Oh, and you
That's it.
may have the show on in the background as well. Hello.
Hey, that's us. That just happened.
Yeah, what? That's like an echo from the past. Now, out of interest, Christabel Jr. What happened?
I had an extraordinary out-of-body experience. Thrown out of my body.
Did you think the show was over?
I am sorry?
Did you think the show was over?
No, I was literally thrown out of the computer.
Oh, okay,
okay. My computer just said, see ya.
I see,
Yeah,
I
that's
see. It was
That's
perfect
unfortunate
timing just
timing.
as we found the hitman. So Bob's great-great-grandfather was the hitman. But now we are a new generation. We are a new generation. And audience, once again, could you just give us a digital hi or something? Just because I'm not seeing the comments update. Let me just see if I can check this. So if I just type in here, Hi. The comments didn't seem to be updating. Hello, hello, good. They are back. So, with this, we have had a murder. Christabel. And everyone, Bob is alive, and Joey 2 Feet are alive, because this is 100 years later. And fortunately, you using your psychic ability were able to know not to be in town last night, so we know that you're not the hitman. So that's good, but you can still help us work out who the hitman is. So with this, we will now have a 3-minute period of open discussion to try to work out who the hitman among us is. 3 minutes, one of you, well, not Christabel, but one of you is a hitman. Try to figure it out. Begin.
Who's going to light our fires now?
Well, this is it. But, Captain, I know you're dead, but I do love to hear your voice. Did you try and protect yourself last night, or did you steal?
I didn't do either thing. I just slept. I binge watched Cobra Kai, and
I get that. I get
yeah,
that.
so I forgot.
No, I understand.
So now I'm dead.
It's most upsetting. Most upsetting.
Agreed. I don't like being dead. There's no food here.
What
No.
about Tommy 8 Fingers, now 4? You've got me behind yourself.
No,
Yeah,
it's
what are
the
you doing
fourth.
hanging out at Bob's?
Tommy 8 Fingers the fourth. Now, this is Bob's garage, a different place. Not Bob the builder or Bob the mop bucket.
Drag queen. Bob the drag queen. That's a famous one.
No, Bob the drag queen. Though at times, no. Listen, I didn't do anything last night either. I still have plenty of money from what my great grandfather did.
Money you
And,
stole? Would that
I
be
protected myself. Not gonna lie, I protected myself.
Interesting.
Because I was a bit out of my body. I had an out of body experience. Could
Uh-huh.
you let me know? Tommy, your great grandfather was the hitman.
No, he was not a hitman. No,
It was
It
Bob.
was Bob.
Bob
Bob.
was the hitman.
Yeah.
And
And
he
as
was in
such,
insurance.
I
insurance
decidedly
and family
stole from
business.
Bob last night to.
You
avenge
stole from
my
Bob out of
grandfather's death.
vengeance, was it?
Yes.
Out of vengeance.
That makes
Correct.
sense.
You stole. I
that.
see.
Yeah.
I also
my,
stole-
my grandfather's shop, all the tools were withered, so I got to build up from somewhere.
A good idea.
Well,
I didn't steal anything. I do quite well.
You also stole, was that Mr. Avalon?
Yes, I stole from Bob as well. I'm sorry, but I have a library to save, and the sins of.
It's difficult, this one, because
Sins of
now
the
we know
father.
about how theft can be used to make one appear innocent. It appears that either one of you may be using this as a stratagem to make yourself look more innocent. Now we know that Bob's failed theft was what caught him out in the first place. If I understand my history books well enough, and thank you for letting me borrow.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
you are
doctor.
correct.
Yes, doctor. Yes, I'm with you.
Sometimes I feel like Hercule Poirot,
Nice.
That's an interesting
Christabel,
nose twitch you got there, Doctor.
You need some computer insurance? Sounds like you have computer problems. I could get you some computer insurance. That problem happens again, you get paid.
Again, you give me a vibe of threat.
And also, I would be careful with your Dell computer, because if you don't be careful, you might be a Dell rolling in the deep.
Ooh.
And
Because
on that
you're
very
giving me
good
a
joke,
threat.
we have come to the end of this period of open discussion. There will be one final interaction before we put it to the vote, but first we do have a couple of questions. Audience, feel free to continue asking questions to any of the suspects throughout the show, and we will ask them periodically. But first, we've got here Bob Tommy. So I think you mean Tommy is my guess. Bob Tommy. So Tommy, who would you kill if you could kill anyone?
If I could kill anyone, I would just kill a bottle of Fifth. That's what I would kill.
Okay.
I'd do like a sip.
Right. Since it says Bob and Tommy, Bob, who would you kill if you could kill anyone?
I'll kill Joey because he stole from my great grandfather.
Okay, interesting stuff. And Joey, are you taking revenge for your grandfather?
Absolutely. I think revenge is a dish best served cold, and may as well do it to the one who already claimed to be poor.
Wait, so is that a confession?
I stole from him.
Oh, okay, just the stealing aspect. I see.
Yeah.
That'd have been an interesting thing there. So,
Cold, not cold-blooded.
So, Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling says, "Hey guys, hello there on Twitch."
Hello.
So, with this, we will have this final interaction with a roll of the dice. I can see that it is going to be between Joey, and it is going to be between Joey again. In fact, let's roll that again. And
I'll
it's
just
going
talk
to
to myself,
be
it's
between
fine.
the captain. So the captain, who is dead, and Joey, who used to be dead, whose great-grandfather was murdered. So, Christabel, if you hold fire on this. Love this improv, says Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling. Awesome, thank you so much. Smash that subscribe button. I know you're on Twitch, but feel free to go smash the subscribe button on YouTube. Joey and Captain, you will have 1 minute. Try to use this time to figure out who is the hitman before he strikes again, or she. That may or may not have been a clue.
Captain, as a relative of someone who was deceased at some point in time, I can feel your pain. Do you have any inkling of who might have wanted you dead?
I still think it's the doctor. I think the doctor, he probably knows a lot about, killing people and making people dead. He's doctor, that kind of stuff. That's what I think. I don't think...
kill people by putting his hand up their bum? That seems like a pretty rough way to go.
Oh, yeah, no, that's awful. That's a terrible way to go. I mean, 10% of the people do like it, though. I mean, I don't know. That's
This is fair.
That's my understanding. But we're not learning anything through that.
No, how's it, so you suspect the doctor, so you think he's lying when he said that he protected himself?
I think that he's a liar, yeah.
Interesting.
So, I said I didn't steal. I lied.
Fair enough. And who did you steal from, may I ask?
I don't know if I have to tell you that, but
You don't? I'm just curious.
Oh, that is the end of this period of open discussion. So, with this, everyone, come on back. Everybody come on back. We are now going to put it to the vote. Audience, it is now voting time. Vote now and save us. Who do you suspect is the hitman? Look at the faces of everyone on the screen here. One of them killed Captain Paulie Burnham during the night. We know it wasn't Christabel. She was kicked out of the Zoom meeting. So don't vote for Christabel, because that would be foolhardy. But who do you think it is? Is it Joey Too Many Feet? Is it Tommy Eight Fingers the Fourth? Is it Dr. Colin O'Scopy? Is it the Librarian, Peter Avalon? Is it Bob, like Bob's great-grandfather was also a hitman? So let us know into the comments. But first of all, we will go round and we will vote ourselves. So first things first, Joey Too Many Feet. Who do you think it is?
Oh, well, the captain made a pretty convincing argument. However, I don't particularly trust the librarian. I think he's a bit too quiet and he's trying to fly under the radar.
Okay.
I'm going to vote the librarian.
Thank you very much. Captain, you were dead. You cannot vote. But Tommy Eight Fingers, who do you think is... I was about to say, who do you think is the librarian? Who do you think is the hitman?
This time I just think sometimes you protest a little too much and claim to know a little too much. So this time I'm going to turn the tables and finger the doctor. I think he's the one.
Okay. That is a vote against the doctor. Doctor, who do you think it is?
Feels awfully rich being told what my incentives are, considering someone's getting a colonoscopy 24/7, Captain. What I would say is that being fingered by Tommy doesn't bother me. My issues are that Joey seems to be on a bit of a darker streak. He's having quite a dark narrative arc this season, and thus I furiously fingered Joey.
Okay, I thought you might.
Just
Librarian Peter Avalon, who do you vote against?
Tough one for me. I think maybe the doctor. Yes, the doctor. I think it's
Okay.
telling.
Christabel, I don't know if you should vote, but you will. Who do you think it is?
I have the feeling that Tommy is up to no good. I have serious, I have serious thought that he might be the one who's kicked me out of Zoom.
Oh.
And so it will be one less person to point the finger at him. And yes, Tommy, I am pointing a finger against your 8.
Okay. So with this, Bob, you will get the final vote from amongst our townsfolk.
I think it's too many feet. Too many feet.
Okay, that is a vote against Joey. So with this, let's go over to the comments section and see where we've got votes. So help me count once again. We've got votes against Tommy, the Doctor, Bob, Peter, Tommy, the Doctor, Tommy. So who's got the most there? Tommy, you have got the most. So let's have a look. We have got, once again, a tie-break situation. Dr. Colin Oscopy has got 2 votes against him. Joey, you have 2 votes against you. And Tommy has 2 votes against him as well. So in this case, once again, we turn to the dead to vote. And Captain, who do you think is the hitman?
Though I would love to watch them all fight to the death, I'm going to stick with the doctor.
Okay, so Doctor, you have been marked for death. I will now once again remind everyone that you have the opportunity to earn extra money by taking on the burden of executing. So, Joey, are you volunteering? So,
Absolutely. I'm following this dark path.
okay, so with that, Joey, you will have the opportunity to execute the Doctor. If everyone else can turn off their video view, this will be a private execution. So first of all, I will remind our audience and remind you that I will roll this dice. It will, in fact, is that the right dice? Yes, I will roll this dice. And you will be able to call odds or evens. If you correctly guess odds or evens, whatever number it lands on will represent how many thousands of dollars you will get as your bounty. So first of all, odds or evens.
I'm going to call evens for this one.
Okay. It's a big number. It's a 10. So with that, you have just earned yourself an extra 10,000. You have an extra $10,000. So everyone is now also aware of this. So with this, Dr. Colin, there will be 30 seconds on the clock. During this time, you can try to beg for your life to Joey. You could accept your fate, as Bob did 100 years ago this very day. Or you have 2 options. You could either try to protect yourself and use whatever level of protection money you have available that you wish to use, or you could choose to grab a Tommy gun. With this, 30 seconds on the clock, begin.
I kneel for no man, and I'm not going to get murdered by, say, jumped up Rolf Harris. Protect me, $7,000.
You do not have $7,000 available.
Protect me for some money.
Okay, with that, you have protection up to $4,000 available.
I've been mugged.
Yes,
Bro,
you have.
unfortunate for you.
And so with this, we'll roll the dice. If it is the numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4, you'll be protected. That's what $4,000 bought you. If it is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, you will be executed. And it
The odds are not in my favour.
It is a number 4. It is a number 4. You have successfully protected yourself. You have successfully protected yourself. Let's just find you here. Let's bring down your money to 0. So with that, everyone come on back. We are in the
Get off this
situation
time, Doctor.
where we did
I
not...
work for the NHS. I'm used to not having any money.
We have discovered that there was not a successful execution, was not successfully carried out. There is definitely still as many hitmen amongst us as there was earlier. So look amongst everyone, guys. Look amongst everyone. Someone here is not who they claim to be. Did the Doctor just manage to get away with murder? Or did we just avoid taking an innocent life? Was Joey a hitman about to take out another victim in plain sight of everyone? Perhaps Tommy was waiting from the back, just waiting to see us kill each other. Or maybe Peter Avalon was doing the exact same thing. We know Christabel cannot be the hitman just because of the faults with Zoom. Captain is dead, and Bob, the grandchild of a previous hitman, could also turn out to be the same way. With this, audience, continue to give us any questions, any thoughts you have. But for now, everybody, please go lock yourselves up, chain your doors, and shut those windows, because there is still a hitman about. And once again, I will ask the hitman, please communicate to me. I will just quickly remind that you can do one action during the night, and that means you can steal from one person. We still haven't learnt this from last week for the person who is attempting to steal from everyone. This is not the way it works, and it is the quickest way to get named and shamed. So you can do one action. If you steal 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, up to 10,000 from one other person. So, let's have a look. I will also answer the question just because it has been asked. What can you do with your money? There are a few options. You can use it to protect yourself, just as you saw the doctor use $4,000 to successfully protect himself. You can use it to protect yourself during the night in the same manner. But if you have managed to accumulate $20,000, you can ask me, and I will respond privately with the name of someone that the hitman definitely isn't. If you wish to use $25,000, should you have accumulated that amount, you can choose to take out a hit on another player. You can either do this privately to me, or you can do it publicly. That is your choice. If you manage to accumulate $50,000, you can ask me to tell you who is the hitman, and I will tell you. You will then have to convince everyone else that you know the correct answer. But with this, let's see what we've got. So we have got that is going to happen. Interesting. 1 second. We're just tallying up everyone's things because they're being very, very crafty with what they're doing during this night. And so, let's see here. Okay. I'm going to have to roll a dice, which is an interesting outcome here. Unfortunately for that person, it was not successful. And, okay, with this, everybody come back. Everybody come back. Okay, there is something important I need to let someone know. So, 1 second. There is something important I need to let one player know. I'm now going to just do something. Okay, and with this, 1 second. I don't want to do something wrong. Okay, right, so, with this, we are awake. Everyone in the city is milling around, but unfortunately, we have some bad news. Bob, you are dead. Someone killed you in the night. Bob, you are dead. Somebody killed you, but fortunately, well, not really that fortunately, we can communicate with you from beyond the grave. Did you get a sense of who the hitman was? Okay, Bob, we can't hear you at all.
Maybe he's having a tough time with his death.
Okay, Bob, you're having a tough time. The spirits are fading. It doesn't say you're muted, so you might want to check your microphone,
Maybe
Bob.
because there's no Bob here. Maybe that's...
It could be. You're still muted, Bob. You may want to just troubleshoot this. We'll come back to you shortly. So, audience, Bob is dead. The captain is dead. But unfortunately, we also have a humiliation situation. During the night, Christabel, who we know for a fact is not the hitman, attempted to steal from people, even though there would be very little use of the money for her. And she was caught as a thief. And so with this, we roll the dice. She was caught as a thief. Christabel, throughout the remainder of this day, you will suffer a humiliation. That means for the remainder of this day, everything you say has to be a question. Everything you say has to be a question. If you say anything that isn't a question, you will be cursed with silence for the remainder of the day. So, with this, we will now ask a round of questions, starting with Tommy Eight Fingers. Who do you think... Well, no, not who do you think. Who would you like to ask a question to?
I got a question for Tony. Hey, not Tony, Joey. Yeah, whatever. Joey. I got a question for Tony, too, but that's separate. Joey, how dark is this path you're on? I mean, this is pretty bad. I mean, already now, you know, the first one might have been a cover-up, and now you've gone after Bob.
I can answer
Is
that
this
the path
the
is...
path where you're going? Did you kill Bob?
No, I did not. The path is getting a lot lighter, however, because I used my money that I got from the, attempted execution to find out some information. And Tommy, I know for a fact that you were innocent.
Well, I knew that.
Well, yes, but I want the rest of everyone to know it can only be the doctor or the librarian.
Interesting.
I've already fingered the doctor.
Interesting. Doctor, do you have a question for someone?
Yes, I do. Joey, how did you afford such a privilege when I stole from you last night?
Well, I stole my ancestor stole money. I stole money. I've been consistently stealing money the entire game, and then when I tried to execute you, I gave another $10,000. I had enough to find out the information that Tommy is innocent. Well, I stole my...
guys, we've got some sort of echo that's come through somewhere. Can everyone just check their audio? I just tried to check if it was Christabel and it wasn't. Sounds like it stopped though. So that's good. Sorry, do continue. Okay, in which case, Christabel, do you have a question for someone?
Well, I'm allowed only questions, aren't I? So I would like to ask Joey if he looks in the mirror and is honest with himself. Is he not always up for revenge?
Now, hang on a second. Before you answer this, I need to evaluate if that was a question. I would like to ask Joey if he would like to do this. Does that make it a statement?
I have an English and a medical degree, and I can tell you it was a double negating and it started with a declarative.
Okay, so, Christabel, you have been silenced. If you attempt to break this silence during the rest of the day, you may face an execution yourself. Which would be unfortunate, since you know that you cannot be the hitman. Peter Avalon, the librarian, would you like to ask a question to someone?
I would. I would like to direct my question to the man who appears to be getting all the questions, to Joey.
Yes.
All this talk of stealing, is this not really cementing your place as the darkest member of our village?
That may be so, but stealing is not killing. If I'm stealing from people, how can I be killing?
Okay, it sounds like you were cursed with rhyming. But with this, let's come across to Joey. Have you asked a question? You haven't. You've been answering them.
I have not yet. Peter the librarian, what have you been doing this whole time in this village? What were you doing last night?
I was simply tucking into one of my many books. I am still going through what my great grandfather was going through, and that is Shakespeare's Much Ado About Mean Girls. I also have Get Thee Back to the Future to tuck into, so I've just been perusing the many books in the library.
Okay, with that, Bob, from Beyond the Grave, can we hear you yet, Bob?
Hear me?
Yes, we can. Oh my god, that was like Cookie Monster. Right, okay. What would you like to ask, Bob? Oh, hang on, was that your question? Yes, we can hear you. Next question. No, I'm joking. I won't be mean. No, go on, Bob.
I would like to hear from Dr. Colin. How much money can you lend me?
At my last guest, I could say that I could lend you 4,000. because I got my money back from Joey that I paid out to protect myself. However, I'm not sure what the currency is in the afterlife. Probably the dollar, because that's probably going to head south soon. So let's just say the dollar.
Okay, fascinating. And Captain, from Beyond the Grave, would you like to ask a question, please?
I managed to have a little palsy in my mouth over here that happened a little while ago, so I apologize for the way my mouth looks. But I would like to ask Joey a question. If you,
Sure thing, Captain.
Yeah. If you were going to kill someone, who would you kill?
At the moment, I would probably kill the Doctor to narrow down the odds. Because if it's not him, then it can only be the Librarian.
You're smart. You're a smart guy.
Let's go over audience. You have asked us a few questions. First of all, Johnny says, "Hey, Extreme Improv Gang. Hope you're all well. We mostly are, except for the ones of us that are dead. Other than that, we've got..." Johnny also says, "Ashley is a superhero by working for the NHS." Well, I'm not quite sure who this Ashley is, but maybe Dr. Colin
Sounds like a
knows him.
prick to me.
Okay. Drinks, Jokes and Storytelling says, "How are you?" I'm well, thank you. But let's direct that to one of our suspects here. Let's ask Joey. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Having a good time.
Fantastic. Michael says, "Peter, what is the worst book you've ever read?"
Well, there are many, many worst books, but I would probably have to say Mein Kampf.
Was that about when you went to summer camp?
Okay, anyway. Fair answer. We've got a couple of questions from Eloise on YouTube. So Eloise Costello says, "Joey, how do you know that Tommy is innocent?"
Because I spent 20 grand to find that information out.
Ooh,
I
interesting.
could have told you for free.
Okay, and
I
Christabel.
like to have it confirmed.
Christabel, what is your future? Okay. We've got a couple more questions. Tommy, have you got an alibi?
Well, I'm at all around the places that I insure right now. I'm at a restaurant that I'm making sure that nothing bad happens to. So I could just go around and look through my roll of where I've been, making sure that nothing bad happens to, and they would all vouch for me.
Okay, and lastly, for now at least, Colin, can you describe the different parts of the human brain to help us understand, to help us study the working of a killer's mind?
It's absolutely not a problem at all. We start with the frontal lobe, which is the filter system for anger and rage and excitement and pleasure. And basically the different filtration system derives personality. And then using the Broca's area on the left hemisphere of the brain, we work out language, understanding, and our comprehension of the world. What we need to understand is if somebody has got a negating chemical inferiority complex of their frontal lobe system, to find out if they can override their human urges to kill.
Well done. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I missed that question earlier, and I'm so gutted now because it did come whilst Colin could only say single syllable words.
Well, thank Christ for that, because they would have got lobe and bad.
Okay. So with this, there will be now a 1 minute period of open discussion. Use this time to figure out who is the hitman. Begin.
Joey, you have convinced me that what you're saying is true. And I guess all I can convince to you is that if I plump for taking out the Librarian with you, then at least you'll know if he's innocent, then it's definitely going to have to be me, isn't it? So you're going to survive either way. Tommy, I guess...
That's good logic.
Tommy, your existence, I get at this point, is kind of futile, but I'm glad you're here anyway to smash it with some narrative.
Well, thank you. Glad to provide something. But I'll throw in with you three that the Librarian could be the person.
This is ganging up on an intellectual just because.
Well, I'm so sorry. Why don't you just talk to us more about Regina George?
Oh, okay. Pick a page, and I will do just that.
37.
37.
Whoa!
7. Not a very good phone. Can you pick another one?
I don't want to.
Okay, and that is the end
What
of
just
that period
happened?
of open discussion. So, with this, there will be one final interaction. With the roll of the dice, I can see that it is between Tommy, 8 fingers, I wrote down 8 toes earlier myself, and it is between, who is number 3? Joey and Tommy. So with this, everyone else take out their camera view. Oh, in fact, at this stage, let's throw one more person in the mix, and that will be the captain. So Captain, come back and join us. Captain, help us figure out from beyond the grave, who is the hitman. 1 minute, begin.
Well, Joey, I'm sorry you spent $20,000 just to know what like I said, I couldn't have told you. I'm not a part of this. I'm a man who helps people after they've been hurt or injured. Don't kill people. The captain, Polly, his great-great-grandfather knew my great-great-grandfather. He knows I don't do that, so.
They knew each other. I also would like to add that I think the doctor's theory is a little interesting. You know, if you just get rid of the librarian, then you would know that you are the killer or are not. So therefore...
I mean, honestly, I'm inclined to believe that the doctor stole from me last night. Tommy, my man, I'm not sorry that I spent the money. I think it was a good thing. It means less people are probably going to die. And
You voting for the librarian then?
absolutely,
I'll go there with you.
the numbers seem to add up.
Okay, and that is the end of this period of interaction. Everyone come on back. Everybody come on back. Audience, it is now once again voting time. Vote now and save us. Who do you suspect is the hitman? Put the votes into the comments and we will go around all of the living members of the city and then we will see what we think. So, Tommy 8 Fingers, who do you think it is?
I'm no longer gonna finger the doctor. I'm going to put my finger on the page of the librarian.
Okay, so we have voted there for Peter Avalon, the librarian. Peter Avalon, who do you suspect?
At this stage, it's I suspect myself because it's evident. I know what's going to happen. Myself.
Okay, the librarian has given up and is voting for themselves. So, who would you vote for? Joey.
Well, I'm going to have to bookmark the librarian down for death.
Okay, you have voted for the librarian. Doctor, who would you vote for?
Let's read this librarian for filth.
Okay, fantastic. Christabel, who do you vote for? 5, you vote for the librarian. So, Captain and Bob, you are dead, so you cannot vote. Let's go over to the audience votes and see what they say. We've got lots of thoughts come through. We could ask these questions. We'll save. Well, no, we'll save these questions. But let's see a couple of thoughts there. Vanessa says Joey and Colin are so connected, and now let's see. Hashtag 37. I don't understand, Vanessa. What does that mean? Hashtag 37.
Because
at the same
he
time.
said pick a page number, we said 37 at the same time.
Yes, of course.
It was amazing.
Okay,
That's
we've got
incredible.
votes here for Joey, Tommy, Joey, Peter, librarian, the librarian, Peter Avalon, Peter, and Peter. Oh, so it's a little bit of split, but then it definitely did 1, 2, 3. It's definitely lent towards the librarian. This is a clean sweep. So at this stage, we need a volunteer to carry out the execution. Doctor, you got in there first. So the doctor will carry out the execution. Could everyone please step aside? This will be a private execution sequence. So, once again, I will remind you of the rules. First of all, Doctor, you will have an opportunity to earn yourself some extra cash. You can call out odds or evens. If you correctly identify odds or evens with a roll of the dice, whatever number it lands on will give you that many extra thousands of dollars.
Odds, please.
Okay, and we roll it. And it is indeed odds, but it is a 3. So you've earned yourself $3 extra thousand there. So with this, Peter Avalon, the librarian, we will now have the situation where you will be executed. During this time, if you wish to protect yourself, you can do so. If you wish to call to grab a Tommy gun, you can also do so. If you call out to protect yourself, I will then clarify with you how many thousands of dollars protection you wish to put on yourself. And with this, here we go.
I would like to use one of the Tommy guns that are still available.
Okay, so you have called to use a Tommy gun. So let's take one of the Tommy guns off the screen. You will now have a 1 in 8 chance. Let me just make sure I've got the correct dice. We do. A 1 in 8 chance of turning the Tommy gun onto your would-be attacker and executing him in your place. So please call a number from 1 to 8.
4.
And it is a number 8. You have not been successful, so the execution scene will continue.
I'm going to give you a colonoscopy, but I'm going to use a fire engine. Last word, any thoughts?
She doth not go here.
It's a great story. Love Spot the dog. I like the ones with the little lifty flaps myself. Do you feel like you earned this? You deserve this?
Yes, why not?
And with that, that's 30 seconds, and you have been executed, Peter. So everyone come on back. Everyone come on back. So at this stage, I will now ask, please, from beyond the grave, the librarian, Peter Avalon, please reveal to us, are you the hitman?
I am indeed.
So there you go. You have caught the hitman. Well done. Well done. Well done. And so with that, congratulations everyone. Dr. Colin, you carried out the execution there. Tommy, you are still alive. Christabel, you don't need to be silenced anymore. And Joey, you also survived. Unfortunately, the captain and Bob were killed, but looking at the time, I believe this now hit the time point where we won't go forward another 100 years. So with that, audience, we will just have a couple of minutes just to go over the tactics and what we could or couldn't tell, but then we will begin to start wrapping things up. So feel free to put any thoughts or comments into the comment section. We'll read them out shortly. But for now, Peter Avalon, you were the hitman. How did you get away with it for so long? Or not?
I don't think I did. It was as soon as the revelation about Tommy came out, it was game over. I knew. I
didn't readily like. I although Joe was saying it, Joe was coming out swinging with some absolute belting Miss Marple shit. I was like, but then I thought, well, okay, we'll see how this goes. See how he answers my stealing question, and because he dealt with it quite well, that was the only reason I kind of went with it.
Honestly,
I was going to say, I thought Bob being killed was to try and deter me from it, because if it would have been me or Peter that died, I would have assumed it was you.
That's fair.
Because it was Bob.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I just had a gut feeling about Peter right from the get-go. I mean, I think he's the first person I accused on, like, day one or something. So after I found out Tommy was innocent, I just tunnel-visioned and kept going for it.
Okay.
Sorry, mate. That's how it goes.
So it was very interesting. So one of the new mechanics with the Revenge of the Mafia is now, because you have money instead of just protection spells, they can be used in different ways. And Joey, you were able to accumulate. At one point, you had $30,000. So with $30,000, you could have actually... Now, you chose to reveal that someone was innocent, and you found out that Tommy was in fact innocent. With that amount of money, you could have actually taken out a hit on someone, which obviously it hasn't come up within these first 2 weeks of Revenge of the Mafia, but just in terms of tactics, would have been something available to you there. You could have killed someone early.
Kill now, ask questions.
I was going to say, I had no idea how much money I had. I thought I had maybe about 25 grand.
That's the problem, because you don't know how much money you've got.
Well, see, and this is the interesting thing, because if you've been mugged, unless it happens to your face, you won't know how much money you've got. It is one of the things we can try and keep track of as a player. You can, because you start with 10, and so realistically you can know how much you spend, and then you can take a guess
But you don't know how much has been taken.
Yes. But it doesn't. But along the way, if it was during the night, you can simply say, you could ask me how much you've got, because I could.
Oh.
Well, actually, do I? No, you could try to do an action. I may or may not reveal to you. Perhaps I should. Perhaps I shouldn't. I don't know. We'll think on that.
How do you determine who gets to get named and shamed?
Okay, so
I tried.
yes. So Christabel, you were knocked out of the Zoom call, and then you attempted to steal $5,000, which I thought was a bit mean-spirited, considering you didn't need it to survive. So with that, I did a roll of the dice, and I just decided that you would have the harsher odds against you, based on that judgment call, and then
Because
you got...
also
So they didn't need the money because okay.
Also, Christabel, if you'd tried to steal from me and I hadn't got 5,000, then you also would have been named and shamed because your stealing would have failed.
Let's see.
I just asked to steal from anyone.
In fact, you asked... Who did you ask to steal? Oh, you need to be specific, in fact. Yeah, so you weren't specific either. But also,
I'm guessing
Bob...
that counted against it as well.
Bob,
Just
Isha...
vibes. Just vibes.
Okay, so Bob, Isha didn't quite learn after last week. So last week, when it got to the final round, we were in a situation. She was like, "I want to steal $500,000 from everyone," and I was like, "There isn't this much money in the world." And then within this last round, I got a message from Bob. It says, "I want to steal Tommy 500, Librarian 500, Christo 500, Captain 500, Joey 2000." Oh,
amazing.
So
Sorry, I don't know.
you can do one action per night, so that would be stealing from one person.
That is genius.
I love that so
30,000, the highest someone's gotten to so far. In the first
That
2 weeks.
is. So last week, just for clarity, I'm having to do a conversion rate, just because obviously working in new rules, and especially the numbers, do mean it. Like, even for me, I was having to figure out the timing of when I figure all this out, and it was taking me an extra 20 seconds at the beginning of a day. That's why at one point I was just like, talk amongst yourselves. And it didn't take too long, and I'm now getting into my rhythm. But last week I did that. You had 10. Was it you had 10,000? No, sorry, you had 100,000. Where the number 1 would relate to 10, the number 2 would relate to 20, and I thought that was okay because 1, 10, 2, 20. But evidently that was a bit too tricky. So the numbers have gone 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and so on this week. But I'm still fine-tuning things. But the more we do it, and the more people that are on the show that know how the new rules work, the easier
I'm
it
sure
gets
the
for
audience will have great ideas as well for how the show can be
Yeah, I'm
developed.
liking it.
Yeah, absolutely. This just gives a lot more strategy, because as you experienced, Colin, you were like, protect me for whatever amount, and you didn't have it. Yeah. But you were fortunate to be protected. Because it rolled a number 4. So it doesn't just mean it's a case of protect me, don't protect me. You now have the strategy of risk versus reward. So with this...
that's why I thought I'd go low. I was like, protect for 3. I quite like my chat at the moment. It just says steal 3 from Captain, then it just says protect 3, and then it just says steal 4 Joey.
Yeah. Okay, so with this, let's have a quick look at what we've got in the comments. So, Drinks, Jokes and Storytelling on Twitch says, love improv. We have an amazing improv artist on a charity stream next Friday at noon. The incredible Rick Overton doing a full hour of improv with us. So, there's a plug there. There's a plug. We're a very supportive channel here to other improv groups. So, or just any creators. It's a tough world out there. So, happy to give any shout outs. So, do check that out with Drinks, Jokes and Storytelling. Eloise says, yay, I was right. So well done there. Vanessa says,
well done.
I want more Much Ado About Mean Girls from Peter, please. Eloise also says that was awesome. Drinks, Jokes and Story says, you're all killer. Oh, you're all killer, yay. I appreciate your group and happy to support. Thank you so much. We have lots of shows as well as this. We have a short form improv show on a Wednesday, Thursday and Friday morning, depending what time. It's based out of the UK. So 8 p.m. On a Friday was this show, 8:30 p.m. for Wednesday and Thursday. And it's all on our Facebook page or YouTube channel. So check us out, smash that subscribe. Michael says, boom. Johnny says, do an Among Us theme stream. We might actually do a stream where we're playing Among Us. We've spoken about it before.
That'd be good.
Where is the group based out of? So technically, Extreme Improv is London-based-ish, but especially with this over Zoom, like we've got someone in the United States here, we've got someone in Australia here. Is anyone else from anywhere outside the UK? Oh yes, and India. Bob, sorry, you were ducking out your screen. So we've got people from all over the world. Bob was shaving.
I was just about to ask Bob, what are you doing?
Bob
Right.
was shaving.
It is tradition at the end of this show. Everyone just starts taking their costume off. I appreciate the plug, says Drinks and Jokes. Also, I'd like to follow all of you. We're about to say where you can find us on social media. Yes, we're about to say. Your links aren't working to get them. I'll put it into like a chat here. So the most important one, youtube.com/extreme improv. That probably won't pop up on Twitch because they probably won't like it, but that's what it is anyway. But for now, let's find out where you can find each of our performers, starting with Tommy. Where can we find you, Bob?
Well, you can find me with my normal improv troupe, Quick Wits. We've been doing this for about 26 years. It's the mostly short form kind of thing. But this February, the end of February, we're going to be doing our improv festival, the Wasatch Improv Festival. That's going to be virtually. It'll be the last Friday and Saturday in February. And anyone, if you've got a recorded show you'd like to send us, hit me up. And we'll see if we can add that show into the whole thing, because we'd love to get some global stuff since we're virtual this time.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Bob. I've got one other funny thing to tell you. So when I did the initial dice roll and I checked like my sheet for who it was, I saw that it was meant to be Bob, meaning Tommy. And then when it was Bob and it was Isha, I got really confused. So it was meant to be
I was trying
Tommy.
to help with that. I would, but I didn't.
Yeah, it was meant to. The hitman was meant to be Tommy, but then when I just looked at the list and I saw Bob, I gave it to Isha by mistake. So my bad.
Oh my god.
It doesn't affect things because it was just the initial dice roll.
Yeah.
But I was just like, when it was like, who was it? I was like, wait a minute. Like I was like, this is really confusing. So I got a bit muddled there.
Yeah, weirdly, and I don't know what's going on psychically this evening, because I also obviously got involved with Sleppy Giuseppe, but I also for some reason was convinced that I was called Bob at one point and was counting votes for Bob.
Also,
When the Bob votes are coming in, I was myself.
I stole $3,000 from you.
There we go.
That's fair.
Captain DB, where can the people find you?
Welcome back to America. Google DB Frick at DB Frick. That's where you'll find me. Thanks for checking out the show. Check out the rest of Extreme shows. Buy his book. There's a lot of people on here that have books. Buy their books.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Bob's got a book. Bob, you've got a book. It's 101 Improv Games.
That's the first one. Then it's 101 more improv games.
There you go.
And there's really about 200 in each book. So.
Oh, so 200.
So it's false
wow.
advertising.
Well, that's the name of the series. But when I would do a game, I'd say here is a variant of that game.
I see.
Here are a couple variants.
Yes, in my book, I counted the variants as individuals. So, with this, Isha, where can the people find you?
Hi guys, you can find me on Extreme Improv, but in a change of events, I'm doing a show in Mumbai, which is happening in the Habitat. It'll be streamed on Facebook, but you guys can buy tickets if you're in India, in Mumbai. And keep on watching Extreme Improv Mafia.
Awesome, thanks so much. JD, where can the people find you?
I now have a podcast, which you can somehow on the socials.
It's very funny. Please listen. Our second episode went up yesterday. We talk about Nicolas Cage in depth.
Thank God.
It's very
Not enough people are talking about it.
about this podcast. I agree, Ashley.
No, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
You can find me on there on
There's a
Twitter.
TikTok page now.
Oh.
Okay. Ashley, where can the people find you?
First of all, you can find me listening to Talking Loud podcast, available on those socials, and also reading a lot of books and talking about DB Frick to anyone that'll listen. You can find me in Southend-on-Sea in the UK. I have I've got a Facebook thing, it's Ashley Edwards Comedy. Don't really update it ever. And it's my birthday on Monday, so
Oh,
Hey!
well,
just send me shit.
okay. Well, happy
I'm a
birthday.
colonoscopist. Just genuinely send me shit.
Okay, so Sarah Wilson Chen, where can the people find you?
Okay, so you can find me on Facebook under Sarit Wilson Chen. Sarah Wilson Chen is like my stage name. You can find me in, I'm going to just do this for a minute. Whoops. Tragically Unscripted Facebook page, which is my long form, and sometimes here on Extreme.
Awesome, thank you so much, and thank you for coming back. Because earlier we were all convinced you rage quit the show, but as soon as like Isha was caught, you were gone, and we know it was the tech issue. Sleppy Giuseppe, where can we find you, Jared?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at, Sleppy Giuseppe down the bottom. I don't post very much, but, it's there. Also, you'll hopefully find me a lot more on, Extreme Improv here.
Awesome.
And, within the next couple of months, I'll be putting out a podcast for my D&D campaign called Dungeons and Dastardly Deities. So, keep an eye on that.
Amazing. Very quickly then for myself, my name is David Pistansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at David Pistansky, spelled Pustansky. You can also get a copy of the Extreme Improv Big Book of Improv Games, which has got how to play over 100 short form improv games and hundreds of pro tips to be able to play them successfully and have fun. And you can also get a copy of the Extreme Improv board game, Improvise Your Way Out of This. And you can find out all the details on it at the website, extremeimprov.co.uk/board game. It's a big excuse to be able to play improv games with your friends, even if they don't feel like they're performers. They're all simple enough to dive into, and there's literally millions of combinations of the suggestion cards involved inside.
Say on
So,
behalf of us as well, David, like if you're an improviser and they call themselves your friends, then they are definitely performers.
there you go. There you go.
I've got my copy of the game.
Yeah. With that, let's have a final look at the comments. So, drinks, jokes, and storytellings. Oh, you've been very active. We appreciate it. Following all on YouTube. Well, thank you very much. I think you should be on Twitch. We are on Twitch. I mean, if you're seeing this and you're commenting there, you can see we are on Twitch. So, smash that like and subscribe and any of the other things you want to there. But we are always on Twitch. As well. Isha says, you guys can find me here. Isha Sharma on YouTube.
I don't know her. Is she good?
Well, she's all right, from what I can tell.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, she
That's
doesn't
nice.
defend herself when about to be executed by a hitman, but otherwise...
I find her quite a shaving exhibitionist, but I don't want to talk about it.
He's got nothing.
Yeah. Okay, so, love the channel. Thank you so much. With that, thank you so much, everyone. Stay safe. We're going to have another Revenge of the Mafia show next week, so do watch out for that. And otherwise, check all of the extreme ones. Smash the subscribe button on YouTube. And with that, stay safe. Have a good one. Watch out for Hitman. And always stay extremed. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And we are now officially off the air.